Naitwa Doris Mwadime Nzige. Nina miaka 13.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Saidi Kote na niko na miaka 20 sasa.
Kwa majina naitwa Fatuma Nzara Nyota.
Nina miaka 18.
Kwa majina naitwa Gift Felix Oira.
Mimi naitwa Winyorende. Sasa niko na 27 years.
Nilijua kama niko na virusi vya ukimwi nikiwa 9 years old.
Niligundua wakati nilivyokuwa nimegonjeka, nikapelekwa hospitali, nikapimwa nikaambiwa niko na TB. Ndio nilivyokuja kupimwa tena nikapatikana niko na virusi.
Niliweza kugundua kuwa na virusi vya ukimwi pale nilipokuwa napitia magonjwa aina vipele, kukohoa, kuharisha, yani magonjwa mbalimbali. Kuna daktari wetu wa familia ambaye alikuwa akitushughulikia, ndiye aliweza kumshawishi anti yangu kwa tuweze kwenda hospitali angalau nipate kupimwa virusi vya ukimwi.
Jambo ambalo lilinifanya mimi nijue nina virusi vya ukimwi, nilikuwa natumia dawa bila ya kujua hizo dawa nilikuwa natumia ni za nini, kwa sababu mzazi wangu alikuwa hajaniambia. Lakini ilikuja kufika wakati mimi mwenyewe niko mgonjwa zaidi yani, mpaka nikaenda hospitali kupimwa. Mamangu hakuniambia kama nina virusi, lakini alikuwa ameambiwa akapatiwa dawa. Nikamwona tu yeye mwenyewe na huzuni yalia, lakini hakuniambia. Nikaendelea kutumia hizo dawa, ndio nikajua niko na virusi.
Nilizaliwa na hii virusi vya ukimwi. Iliambiwa na daktari, sikuambiwa na familia. So ilini affect sana hiyo time.
Kwa class 5. Sasa nilifaa kujiunga na support group, ndo nikajijua hali yangu. Cause nilikuwa kuna wenzangu nao wako hivyo. Lakini hiyo miaka yote ilikuwa sijui, lakini ilikuwa nina meza dawa.
Mimi mwenyewe nikiwa shuleni kuna yale mafunzo ambayo watu hupitia shuleni kwamba ugonjwa huu ni hatari, ukiweza kuambukizwa ugonjwa huu basi ndo mwisho wako. Sasa nilivyoweza kugundua kuwa nami pia nimeweza kuathirika na ugonjwa huu, niliona basi hakuna umuhimu tena kuishi katika dunia hii. Hadi nikaweza kuwa na fikra mbalimbali kama kujitoa uhai.
Nilipoambiwa kwamba niko na virusi vya ukimwi nilisikia vizuri, kwa sababu kuna wengine ni wakubwa wangu na wajui hali zao. Mimi ni mdogo na nimejua hali yangu.
Nikarudi hapo jioni yake usiku nikilala, nikakumbuka hivyo mamangu alivyoniambia, nikaanza kulia tu mwenyewe kutoka na machozi bila kulia kelele. Kutoka na machozi kitandani siku ile hiyo siku nikakaa mpaka asubuhi. Asubuhi yake ndo nikarudi nikala, nikarudi hali yangu ya kawaida.
Nilikasirika mwanzo, nilijua niko na HIV. Alafu the worst thing the only one niko na HIV, the family of 4. Na pia nilishangaa kwa nini mama kuniambia niko hivyo before akufa. So it affect sana, but I had to go on with life.
Sikusikia vibaya kwa sababu tayari nilikuwa na meza dawa. Sasa sikuweza kulaumu mtu ila mamangu na babangu. Cause walinifanya mpaka mimi nami nikashikwa na virusi.
Ilikuwa ni wakati mgumu sana. Hata ilibidi mpaka nimchukie mama yangu. Familia yote nilichukia. Nilikuwa yani niko nina uoga, upweke, unyanyapaa ulinijaa. Nilikuwa yani sijui niseme nini. Sasa nikasema afadhali nife nifuate baba yangu. Maana sijui kwa nini nafanya nini duniani.
Welcome to Hamasisha Show. Today in the show we'll be discussing about HIV, adolescents and young people. So with me I have 4 panelists, amazing panelists. And the panelists are going to introduce themselves, starting from my far left. Daktari.
I'm Dr. Lillian Awimbo. I'm a counseling consultant, a play therapist and child therapist. In my profession, I've had a chance to work with young adolescents who are living with HIV and AIDS. And I'm happy to share my experience with you today. Thank you.
I'm Kennedy Mwendwa, working with the HIV and AIDS People's Alliance of Kenya, Hapa Kenya, based in Mombasa. Hapa Kenya works with the key population, and specifically that is MSM, that's men who have sex with men, MSW, male sex workers, and transgender women living with HIV. And I'm happy to be here today.
My name is Lucy Wanjiko. I work with a community-based organization called Positive Young Women Voices in Nairobi. It focuses on empowerment of girls and young women, and I'm very happy to be here.
Hello viewers, my name is Jab Akuno. For the last 15 years or so, I have worked extensively in the field of HIV and AIDS as well as sexual reproductive health. It gives me pleasure to be with you for this show, and I will be more than glad to share a few highlights and insights on adolescents and HIV.
Would like now to hear stories or journey from our panelists.
I'm Kennedy Mwendwa, as I said. I was diagnosed with HIV immediately. I just turned 18, and this was a very devastating moment for me. It was a big shock in my life to be told at that very moment I'm HIV positive. I felt the people who I was engaging sex with, mostly unprotected sex, they didn't tell me much about HIV. And even if I'll recall, just as I had, seroconverted, I would not relate to that moment, because after all, who could I turn to, maybe to talk to? Issues of disclosure, it's not commonly, And I would say as that time, it's a moment for me, I felt so painful inside me. I blamed my parents, I blamed the family, I blamed, school, I blamed everyone, my sexual partners, who could not actually discuss with me about HIV and AIDS, or HIV as an issue. Yeah, so basically that's a bit about my story and where I come from with my HIV journey.
Lucy, maybe you can share with us the journey of your life.
So Lucy was just your normal 19-year-old looking forward to a bright future. I had just finished my high school. That was in 2010. In the same year, I had won 2 beauty pageants. I used to be a model. And I was happy, I was looking forward to life. I was very excited on what the future had to offer. But December of 2010, I realized I was pregnant. I mean, I was only 19. What did I know? My boyfriend then was 20. He told me that he's allergic to condoms. And so protection was out of the question when we started engaging in sex. And we had to move in with him. And I gave birth to a son 9 months later. And I wanted to be the best mother there was, but the situation at the moment did not allow us. No one was employed, no one could find employment, and it was a struggle during this time. And unfortunately, I lost my son because he was sickly from when he was around 3 months, and he passed on when he was 7 months old. But before his passing on, my friends and I decided one day, there was just in like Kennedy's case, there was a testing for cervical cancer screening. There was a cancer screening that was happening in our area, and I decided with my friends, twende tukaone what this is all about. And we did the cancer screening because then it was a hit. But at the same time, we were told, how about to take a HIV test? And we went also to take the HIV test. I myself, I was very confident because when I was pregnant, 2 months, that's when I started my antenatal, I was negative then. So I went confidently knowing that this was just a waste of time. But then the results came back and I was positive. And I remember at that moment, my fear was, is this the reason why my son was sick? Is this the reason why we could not get to know why kept coughing and no medication was working. And even before we could get to a point where he could get tested, he had passed on already. And at that moment, I really didn't know where my life was going, and I kept asking myself, so what happens next? I went ahead and told God to show me what to do with that. And as fate would have it, I met this man over here. We were doing a beauty pageant. So I went back to my first love, which was modeling, and I started another beauty pageant. Miss Fabulous, right? Job was among the facilitators, but also sort of a mentor. So it is in that moment that I realized this is what I want to do. I want to tell girls when they want to look pretty, they are getting into relationships, that HIV is also there. You can get into relationships, but you have to know that HIV is there, and it does not ibagui. Are you beautiful? Are you from where? Is this your first love? Because this was my first love. This was the first time I was ever getting intimate with anyone, and yet there was this diagnosis. So I went ahead and told the girls. So the first time I ever went, I told the second person about my status. It was in public. And that is when my life changed, and I knew that this was important to be that person that no one was for me. No one came and sat me down and told me this happens. So I was going to be that person that people were not for me. And I think that is why I'm also here, because it has been quite a journey that I really am glad to be part of. Yeah.
We are taking a short break and we'll be right back. Before the break, we met our exciting panel and we learned a lot about what had happened. So let's hear how they coped. It must have been quite heavy when you were tested positive.
At that time, I felt hopeless, and I just like crashed down. And the thing inside me was issues around betrayal that I felt, and being that I was crashing down, I was losing hope and hating myself inside as well. And at that time, with no shoulder to lean on, I felt like I should just die. And I remember a series of occasions where I've attempted suicide. The betrayal inside me turned me to be I'll say inhuman. I was deliberately infecting others. And it was out of hate, and I was not regretting. I went to a don't care stage. No, like whoever gets it, well and good, because I thought nobody cared. Maybe someone knew their status, it's positive, and yet they didn't initiate condoms with me or safe sex. It's sad. I've in my life had a book, a hardcover book with the written names of people who have indulged into unprotected sex with them. Out of hate inside me, I wrote names, over 300 in a span of 1 year, because that's when I was crashing most. That's when I was in the dark.
Kevo is representing so many other young people who probably might have tested positive and they have no one to talk to. These are some of the issues that young people are facing in today's world, and we need to address the feelings, the emotions. How do you go? Who do you talk to? Daktari.
Discovering that you are HIV positive is not an easy thing. Irrespective of the age, really, it's not unusual to even have suicidal thoughts, because as you're looking at it, what is there for me? The only option here is death. And unless you find somebody to help you, to support you, deal with what you're experiencing, your psychological state at that particular moment, it's very, very difficult to move on with life. You lose hope, like Kevin had said. You lose hope. You get angry. There is bitterness, even wanting to infect as many people as possible. So what I would say that what they experience, and I'm really proud of you, that you are able to even come out here to share your experiences in supporting other adolescents. Because now you know that when you are in a situation like that, you need support. But we must also look back, yeah, and say, in our society, do we readily talk about sex with our children or with our parents? It's a very new concept that we actually even sit down and talk about sex. Yeah, it's a very new concept. And even up to today, I want to believe there are people, there are families or parents who cannot engage their children and talk about sex.
Job Akuno, you've been an expert for over 15 years. What really needs to be done at this level?
Yeah, thanks, Evans, and I want to take this opportunity to really thank our two co-panelists for having the courage to share their personal experiences. It's important to note that what Lucy and Kennedy have shared is very personal, and often people don't talk about it. But I just want to flip the coin a little bit and look at the fact that if you look at Lucy's case, for example, this is a stage when young people are experiencing what is very normal, that they're getting into a space where they want to begin to have relationships that are geared, in their view, towards a future. So it's very normal for them to engage in sexual activities. However, the begging question is, how prepared are they for that stage? What comprehensive knowledge do they have about sex, sexuality, and HIV? And therefore, getting to know that you have HIV when you've had your first sexual encounter can be very devastating. Now, moving from where Dr. Awimbo has pointed out, the question around parents, it is also true that the modern day parent does not have the information that we are talking about in the first place. So even if they wanted to communicate, the best they can do is to say, chunga, usiwe na kijana. Because they also don't have the language to communicate. So their sources remain very limited in terms of either their friends, who are as uninformed as they are, or the media that glorifies sex, which then gives them the license without the skill. So what then that means is that we're dealing with the young people whose experiences have been shaped by environment that they have little control over. But all is not lost, Evans. And thank you, Lucy and Kennedy, for bringing this up. A number of health facilities now have what you call psychosocial support groups for adolescents and young people. And that's a critical step. Because then, when young people are diagnosed, then there is someone who's already going through that experience or has gone through that experience and will mitigate such opportunities like what Kennedy had to go through, having no one to talk to. Now there is someone that you can talk to. And I think that's an important step.
Job, maybe share with us about the numbers. Where are we at?
We have about 1.6 million Kenyans living with HIV according to the official records. There are those who are unidentified. They still don't know their status. Partly, sometimes it could even be the people who are pointing at others. Because they don't know their status, they are gladly saying, hey, wale watu wa virusi vya HIV, come out and get to know your status.
Getting at where Kevo came from, he tested positive, and because of anger, he felt he needed a feeling of blame, a feeling of revenge. Kevo is representing a lot of young people who are revenging because of the emotions. So is the society not taking enough attentions of emotion, especially when people are hurt, Dr. Awimbo?
I had actually an occasion where a child was in my room, in my office at the clinic, and she actually talked to the mother and said, ni kwa ajili ya wewe, it's because of you that I got this. So these are people who are dealing with identity crisis. They are emotionally unstable because they are hurting, they are blaming, they feel betrayed like Kevo felt. They feel stigmatized. It's like they have nowhere to go. Nobody is welcoming them. When you are HIV positive, then it's a death sentence. So nobody wants to identify with that. And as a result, they are having struggles. Who am I?
The moment you're tested and your result is HIV positive, the same person that you shared a meal before the test would then see you differently. Now, isn't that what you call the highest height of folly? Because what has changed within the seconds? If they were to infect you, they would have infected you for the last 10 years that you've been friends. Yeah. So to start stigmatizing, to start discriminating them, the moment you learn they are HIV positive, means that you lack the basic understanding of what HIV is and what the transmission methods are. And I think that's the most important part to this, because stigma is actually a product of ignorance.
We are forgetting one key person, the friend who's HIV negative, the one who is closest. Because if I don't take my drugs, it's because I'm afraid Evans ataniona nikimeza dawa. It's not because I'm afraid Evans is HIV positive tu na anameza dawa. Otherwise would be saying, yako ni kala gani, yako ni gani unakunywa. The issue is the one who doesn't know who is HIV negative. That is the person we should be reaching out to. And that is where we are missing.
What I'm gathering from my panelists is people tend to feel like they are in two different populations. There's a populations of HIV positive people and a populations of HIV negative people. So next, we're going to take questions from the audience. But before that, let's take a break. Welcome back to the show. We are now going to get questions from our audience to our amazing panelists.
Kwa majina naitwa Oliver Mwashigadi. Nikichukua sema mfano moja, ndugu kama Kevin, akienda kama tuseme eneo kama Kisumu, Nairobi, jinsi alivyo, wasichana wadogo wengi watamkimbilia. Dada Lucy, kama singekutana na wewe kwenye ufuo hapa, labda ningekurushia ndoano. Sawa. Swali langu ama kuchangia kwangu ni kuwa tunaongea sana masuala ya ukimwi sana. Lakini ukiangalia ni kwamba ukimwi asilimia kubwa unaletwa na watu kuonana kimwili. Nadhani ndio asilimia kubwa inapatikana ukimwi kwa njia kama hiyo. Na kama binadamu tuna hisia. Sasa hizi hisia ambazo zinashinda asilimia kubwa ya watu kuzicontrol. Nadhani ni muhimu washikadau tutafuteni njia ambazo hiyo ndio jambo ambalo wale linanisumbua sana katika moyo wangu, kwa ni njia gani tutakayotumia kupunguza ama kusaidia tu kama miaka 30 ama miaka inayokuja ili swala hili ndio tumeweza kulidhibiti.
Job ambao ni expert wa masuala ya afya, kama kunaweza patikana dawa ya kupunguza hisia ili ukiona mwanamume ama ukiona mwanamke usiwe na ile tamaa ya kufanya mapenzi ama kufanya ngono. Job,
feelings, we say feelings are involuntary. You don't choose what you feel and how you feel. There is no way we should be talking about curtailing or controlling our sexual feelings because it is normal. It's like saying, can we control hunger? We cannot control hunger. We cannot control sexual urge. Sex is about the mind, which means that you must then deal with the mind as opposed to dealing with the genitals. The cure to sexual urge is the ability to exercise self-control. Then, if you then say, I want to have sex, the next question is, what kind of sex am I going to have? There's what you call safer sex practice. So you say, I will have sex, but I will have it under the following conditions. One, I will be sober enough to know what I am going to do. Then 2, I want to ensure that I don't either pass an infection or receive an infection. The 3rd thing is you ask yourself, what is the consequence of my action? What can happen after I have done this? Will I still feel good about it? You see, like what Kevo was saying, that at some point when he was going through that whole process, later on he was asking himself, did I do the right thing? So in that case, I would say the genitals will always be there.
My name's Judy, a guardian to Winnie. Winnie has been living for the past 27 years with HIV. And as a guardian, I've seen her walk through the whole process since her childhood, her teenagehood, and even her adult life. And my question is, how as a parent, how can I advise her? How can I talk to her? Can she find somebody HIV negative, or can I just advise her of getting somebody positive in the process?
It's not hard for the young person living with HIV to get a husband or to get a wife. Lucy is married to a person who's negative, and she has given birth to a baby who's negative. So I don't feel as a young person you should limit yourself to who you get to fall in love with. If I fall in love with someone who's positive, well and good. If I fall in love with someone who's positive, well and good. Negative, positive, we are all human beings. And you can fall in love with whoever you get to fall in love with. As long as they take you for who you are and do not use your HIV status to define the relationship or to define who you are or how they treat you.
Kwa majina naitwa Selina Mwikali. Mimi ni mmoja wale wanaoishi na virusi. Watoto wangu ni 5 wa kuwazaa. Namshukuru Mungu hawakupata virusi. But niko na mtoto ambaye nalea. Aliachwa akiwa na miaka 2. Na yule mtoto akatengwa. Na ni kama hiyo familia hawamshughulikii kabisa. Mwanzo utampata yuko na zile hasira. Sasa hii ndio kidogo at least kwa support group anaenda akifunguka. Ulikuwa unaweza muuliza swali na ananyamaza na kuangalia tu hivi. Kwa sababu ile hasira alionayo, anapata kitu, unamnunulia kitu unampatia. Hiyo kitu hata gawanya, atakaa akiwa hapo wenzake anakula na akiwa wanamwangalia. Kwa sababu ya yale maisha aliyopitia, chakula ni chake peke yake, maji ni yake, haruhusiwi kucheza na mwingine. Unakuta hapo inaleta tafshishi. Yule mtoto anajiuliza kwa nini iwe mimi? Kwa hivyo ningeomba tujaribu kupata hata kama ni ufadhili, tuweze kuingia mashinani, kuelimisha wazazi, kuingia kwa mashule, kuelimisha walimu, kuelimisha wanafunzi.
As we have seen, stigma and lack of information can be more damaging than the virus itself. People living with HIV cannot change their status, but you can change your attitude.
Naweza ambia wenzangu ambao wako na virusi vya ukimwi wasiweze kujikataa wakisema kwamba watajua. Mtu akikuwa na virusi vya ukimwi si mwisho. Akifuata dawa zake vizuri, kukula chakula vizuri na kunywa maji kwa wingi, anaweza kaa miaka mingi hata kushinda yule ambaye ana virusi vya ukimwi.